Wrapped up in ribbon and bows, like big legs wrapped in pantyhose, like a Milky Way wrapped in chocolate, like a mini skirt with a real tight fit, like a movie star wrapped up in mink, like a brand new baby girl wrapped up in pink.
Well, hello, welcome to the second half of Magic Video, and just as I promised, we're going to have a special guest, a celebrity in the house today. Emmett North Jr. has stopped by today and going to talk to us a little bit about what he's doing out there, and we're going to play his video and everything for you. But first, I'd like to introduce him, Emmett North Jr., to Magic Video. Welcome.
Glad to be here, Magic Video, in all of Austin and all surrounding counties.
Great, great. And of course, today we're going to talk a little bit, a lot bit, about your life and the things that you've done and the things that you want to do and the whole bit. But first, I want to start off kind of getting into the history of it all. You know, I've read that you come from gospel roots.
Yes.
And I want to, first of all, we want to know a little bit about where you're from. I hear you're from around the Dayton, Ohio area, and kind of expand on that. And
born in a little town called Middletown, Ohio, which is 25 miles from Dayton, Ohio, and 25 miles from Cincinnati. My family moved to the bigger city. And that's where I started getting into gospel and learning how to play the guitar and playing the blues. I started about 12 years old. On Friday and Saturday, I'd be in the nightclub playing with the blues artists. And my mother would say, look, just don't let him drink no wine, bring him home, and make sure he gets paid. And on Sundays, I'd be in church playing gospel, you know. So I got a chance, and my mother's a gospel singer. So I kind of began, you know, to get the feel of wanting to play gospel music by hearing friends, aunts and uncles and mothers singing quartet music and stuff like this, and guitars and stuff, and it kind of excited me, so I got more into learning to play guitar from playing gospel. And I branched on from there into blues, into jazz, and
that kind of leads me into my next question then. Now, what kind of made you make the switch from gospel and kind of go into other things of blues, and at the same time, what made you leave that area and kind of move on to?
My father had been telling me for years to stop playing around here. You sound good. The people calling you all the time for this kind of work and that kind of work. Go to California where your aunts and uncles and cousins are. Maybe you can get on television. Stop playing for peanuts. Stop playing for nickels and dimes. So I had to build up a little courage over a period of time. I didn't leave right away. It took me like maybe, he was trying to get me to do that in 72. I think it took me 74, just the last part of 74, and I moved to LA. I was going to LA actually to work with Bobby Womack, and a lot of his people turned me on to that Barry White was hiring musicians, guitar players at the time, and their office was in the same building. And he says, Bobby signs you to play with him as long as you're doing his concerts or a tour, but he doesn't put you on a retainer. But he says, I hear Barry White does. You should go check him out too. So I said, well, I've only been here about 6 weeks. I better check everybody out. Sammy Davis Jr.'s office is on the top floor, so I went to everybody's trying to get a guitar playing job. And I went down to check Barry White's people out, and they say, okay, yeah, we are auditioning guitar players. We have a rehearsing studio down the street. He called down, and they said, well, we're going to send the guy down, and y'all check him out and see how, how he does. I got down and they started pulling out sheet music of Barry White stuff, you know. I said, wow, music this long, you know. And I got to telling them I used to be with the Ohio players, you know, hanging out, the guys, and they liked them. And so they said, well, we like you, man. We're going to try and make sure you get in the group, and we're going to teach you how to read this stuff, you know. So I actually moved in with the band 3 weeks before I even met Barry White. I met Barry at Soul Train. And they lied. They say, look, Barry, this is Emmett North. He came all the way from Ohio just to play with you. Came to play with Bobby Womack, but switched it around. And Barry just shook my hand and said, right on. 2 weeks later, I auditioned for him, and the rest is history.
Okay. I also hear that you did some touring, you know, with different people like Barry White and, you know, just different people. Kind of tell us about that and maybe some of the albums and things that you had a part of.
Okay. I toured Europe with Barry about maybe a dozen times. You know, going to Germany, France, Holland, England, Belgium. Went to South America, Buenos Aires, Argentina, Lima, Peru, Caracas, Venezuela, Mexico City, Puerto Rico, Santo Domingo, just all over.
Yeah.
And I knew way back when I started learning a lot of things from working with the Barry White organization. It kind of polished me as a person and a professional, and it's like Motown did for the Jacksons.
Okay.
We had to be representing this man going around the world, so we started dressing different and thinking different, and I guess I moved it from a nightclub performer to concert hall.
Okay.
So we were playing in Germany in front of 14,000 people, and the first job, I just sat there on my chair with my guitar and was froze. And the guy said, "Hey, the show started." And I said, "Wow, I just pictured, you know, it's a dream.
Right.
Dream come true all in 6 weeks."
Oh, okay. What about some of the other acts that you worked with, maybe like Martha Reeves or Billy Jackson? I'm interested in that.
Okay, before well, actually, I was on tour with Millie Jackson with Barry White.
Oh, okay.
And so that's how we did a tour together. Played a show with Martha Reeves, but I was playing with another girl, and like both of us was sharing bands on stage.
Oh, okay.
This was actually way before I even moved to California. Shouldn't say this, but we kicked Martha Reeves' bands, but they didn't even come back on stage.
Oh no.
We're talking about way back when, like back 70.
Okay. Well, I also read that during that time that you did some work with people like Isaac Hayes and Wolfman Jack.
Yeah,
you just have a steady slate of people that you have worked with.
I did. Actually, I worked for Wolfman Jack on a blues album he was doing. It was never completed. We did 6 songs. Did a TV show for Wolfman that was supposed to have been a pilot. And I was hoping that this thing was going to be the one for me, because that was like $1,200 a week for the rest of the year. But the major label somehow didn't pick, the sponsors didn't pick up on it, and it wasn't ran every week. It was just shown like maybe 4 times in a year.
Okay.
But I got exposure from that too. So I was on that show with Chuck Berry.
Okay.
But I worked for Wolfman.
Oh.
That's how it all came together.
And where's he now, you know?
Wolfman moved from Hollywood from Beverly Hills to Georgia, I think. Funny thing about this Chuck Berry thing, I went back to Ohio one winter to visit, and on the way back I came through St. Louis, where Chuck Berry's from. And I had to stop there to change flights, and he was leaving there at the airport, and there was lots of people surrounding this guy. I didn't know who it was. When I got over there, I said, "Oh, it's Chuck Berry, I should get his autograph." But I said, "No, I better not. He got all these people around him." So I said, "He don't want to be bothered with me." So 2 weeks after that, I found out we were doing this show together. And I said, "Look, didn't you see me?" He said, "You should have came on over and talked to me." I said, "No, you had all these women all around you. I didn't want to bother you." And I said, "It's funny, we end up here together doing this show."
Okay. Well, I see that, you know, you've worked with a lot of different people over the years. What kind of happened to make you make the turn and go into a solo career for yourself, which you have right this moment?
I've always I always stuck out in the crowd. I played with a lot of smaller groups, because I started my own band when I was 17. And then I had to go to the Army, and even when I was in the Army, I played in a band. So a lot of times, you know, I was in Germany, I didn't have to play guard duty or KP. The commander would say, "Well, look, we're having a party tonight. We want Emmett's band to play." So that means if I was on KP or guard duty, go relieve him and put somebody else on. So I had a little special touch all the time. And during the Christmas season, I traveled with the USO around the different barracks. This was in Germany, to perform for the troops. And that got me out of playing soldier, you know. Isaac Hayes was a different cup of tea. Wonderful man. I worked with him for 3.5 months in Atlanta, Georgia. We did Linda Clifford's album. I think it was called Shoot Your Shot. I played on about 4 tracks on that, with Isaac Hayes producing the music, Curtis Mayfield producing her, the artist. And a bunch of characters in Isaac's band at that time. Some crazy people, but you know, very fun to know and be with.
Okay. So it seems like over the years, for the most part, you have worked on people's albums, worked with people playing your guitar, you know, being on that musical end. So what about now? How is it this time being on the end where you're being the one with the vocals, singing? How do you like that as compared to, you know, the earlier days when you were just mostly playing?
Yeah. Well, I used to sing in the early days, but I was singing other people's music.
Okay.
So now it's a big difference when you write something yourself and you're singing your own phrases, your own melodies, and you know where it all started, which was in my little studio in my apartment. Me playing bass, guitar, and pushing a drum machine and putting it all together, then taking it to the studio and making it come out like a record.
Okay.
Beautiful.
What was your first single? And well, how did you feel when you first got your, when you got your first single out there? How did that feeling?
Great feeling, cause see, like my first single was called Lady C. We had airplay, but at the time we didn't have everything the way it should have been, and we didn't know at that time that things were going to take off from it so fast.
Yeah.
In Minneapolis, we had it planned, and we just didn't have all the stock there in the right places at the right time. So we decided we'd do this one a little different, just be prepared, put the next one out and just have stock and do what we should do.
Right.
You know? So things are working out a lot better now. I got my promoter here from New York. He's been going all over Maryland and Connecticut and Jersey and Brooklyn, and a wonderful guy.
Okay, you care to tell us a little bit about the people that you're working with right now, like your manager, promoter, and everybody?
Yeah, Darren Michaels is our East Coast promoter.
Okay.
And Diane Girardi. I have a cast of Italian background of my family, which makes it a lot nicer for me. You know, they see that, well, this guy must have some things going. He's got a lot of Italians around him, you know. So I have Darren and Diane, which is his boss, and that's on the East Coast. On the West Coast, I have my manager, Mike Nunes, Tony Seppi, business associate and record president, his brother, Bill Seppi, which contributed to the finance of the video, God Almighty, my mother and father, and I also have 2 sons, Emmett III and Keith. Forgot, I better mention that, else my mother's going to be really upset.
Well, we're going to stop right this moment, and we're going to take a look at the video, and then we're going to come back. I want to talk more about the video, but first we want to go into Emmett North Jr. with Wrap Me in Your Love here on Magic Video.
Wrapped up in ribbon and bows, like big legs wrapped in pantyhose, like a Milky Way wrapped in chocolate, like a mini skirt with a real tight fit, like a movie star wrapped up in mint, like a brand new baby girl wrapped up in pink, like a rapper wrapped up in what he's thinking of. Wrap me in your love. Come get next to me, girl. Hold me in your arms. Tell me that you love me forever and a day. Let me feel your body. your love is where I wanna be. Like aluminum foil, your love is strong. With you around me, baby, I can never go wrong. Like cellophane, your love clings to my heart. Nothing in this world can ever tear us apart. Like a cold hand and a warm blood, wrap me up in your love.
Well, I hope you like that one. That was Emmett North Jr. with Wrap Me in Your Love. Now what we're going to do is I want to know about the video, the making of it. How you like that, since this was your first video? How did you like making a video? What was the idea behind it? You know, did you have any part of that? If you can kind of expand on that for us.
Well, the producer, director of this video, I had met him at a party 2 years prior to this happening. And this was like down the street from my apartment. I was invited to this pool party, and he just happened to have been there, and I played him some of my stuff, and he liked some of the older stuff that I'd done, and when he heard the newer stuff, he liked it even more. And sometimes he would come down and just, you know, kick it around with me for a few minutes, and because he would say, look, I could stay here at your apartment and get work, because I have so many different other entertainers and friends that come by. The background singers on this video of some Bobby Brown and Michael Bivins and them, you know. Val Young and Harold Travis. Val's from Detroit. She used to be one of the brides of Frankenstein, you know, the original. And Harold at that time was her boyfriend.
Okay.
So because they were my friends, they decided they'd come and do this for me. And I have quite a few other celebrity people that y'all probably heard of that's singing on the rest of my album, you know, doing the backing vocals.
Okay. Well, you kind of told me a little funny story a few moments ago about how you got there and then you got a chance to meet everybody.
Okay, well, you don't mean here in Austin?
Oh, no, the video. When you got to shoot the video.
I went to this video. I only knew the guy that produced the video. When I got there, I didn't know anybody in my video. Nobody. None of the models, none of the dancers. And gradually I met everybody, and he put it all together. It was different for me because it was just like shooting a mini movie. Those people get up like 5 in the morning, start shooting at 7, and you know, they got cameras and sound equipment and microphones, and they got these big sheets of reflective glass to focus the sun in your face, you know. It was different, you know. They had these railroad tracks with cameras moving on them, and we was over this canal, which is in Venice, California.
Okay.
The producer just got off in the deep water with the boat with this girl in it. You know, it was just full of gook and fish that was still alive enough to swim around in it. He said, well, I got to get this shot. I said, well, you're going all out for me, right? I said, right on, you know. He get out there, he pushed the boat under the bridge so the camera above could get the right shot. I said, wow, he's really, you know, doing it for me. And it was just like, he was really doing me a favor because I got my video done for much cheaper than most people. By him being a friend and liking my music. Yeah. So everything worked out. We shot part of it in Venice, California. We shot part of it in Burbank Studios. We shot part of it in a place called Oceanside, which is further up the beach.
Okay.
Where you saw all the little kids in the swings and stuff, you know. Wanted to make sure I had, you know, pretty ladies in it and little kids, and because, you know, I'm a happy type of person. I like things to be nice.
Okay. Let's take a little turn like to the here and now. Let's ask a little question about your visit to Austin. First of all, you know, you're coming here and the people you've been, your connection here with Jesse Harris and everything. How'd you like being here in Texas?
Well,
is it your first visit, you know?
Well, Jesse Harris is what you call my Texas connection.
Okay.
H-Town Productions, you know, that is Jesse Harris. He's been a good friend since I met him a year ago at Jack the Rapper, and we've been conversing, I guess, over the past 3 or 4 months on getting together again and trying to hook up some different things so we can both grow. You know, he said he believes in my stuff. He likes what he's heard. And I think after days like even more that he's heard, you know.
Okay.
So I imagine we'll probably be building something and trying to grow together, because there's no reason why we can't all make a piece of this pie and grow, you know.
Okay. How'd you like Austin?
Loved it. I tell you. I mean, the hotels really look nice around here, just from the outside. We're staying, maybe I shouldn't say, at one of the Holiday Inns. To keep the fan crowd down.
Okay.
The people are really nice and friendly. Had 2 steaks there, 2 big T-bones that covered my whole plate, just melted in my mouth. People real friendly. I like the atmosphere. It was right by the river, in case you ladies want to know. It's by a river. I've enjoyed myself, even during the rainy days.
Oh, good. Well, first, I want to go ahead and ask you, because we all want to know, we see your single that you have out now and the video and everything. We want to know, what can we expect in the future? Are you going to be bringing out more hits and more videos and everything?
It's funny for me to say, but I feel I have at least 6 singles on my album out of 9 songs.
Okay.
And I stand behind the stuff that I do because I'm very critical of myself. And I try and make sure I write a lot of stuff that way I can pick the next 8 or 9 or 10 for the next album.
Okay.
The weak ones, go back and work on them some more.
Okay.
So,
well,
I'm not the type of artist that want to give you one good song and go buy my album.
If you could kind of real quick
surprise you guys.
Give us a
the next song is real slow. The next single's going to come out.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Give us an idea of what's going to happen next. What about the album? Do you have a release date or anything?
Don't have a release date at the time, because what we're trying to do is sell a lot of units, or enough units, so we'll be able to negotiate better with a larger label.
Okay.
It's just like we're not really tied down to anyone yet.
Okay.
I'm trying to leave myself open for major labels, and we do have some major labels interested right now. Okay. It's just you gotta, you know, kind of hold out a little bit.
Okay.
What I want to do is I don't want to be just another artist they put on the shelf.
Okay.
I want to make sure I sell some stuff before they grab me.
Well, that's good. Well, we'd like to thank you for joining us here. You know, we've had fun here with this interview, and I hope our viewers out there have really enjoyed it too. We enjoy your music, I know that, and we expect to see a lot more from you too.
Oh, I come back here to do a concert.
Okay.
I don't mean nightclub, a concert.
Okay, good. Well, we have a friend here in Magic Video then. Well, before we go, we'd like to have you introduce the next video for us, you know.
Okay, should I do that right now?
Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Magic Video is Natalie Cole.